Driver paid tolls in pennies. I made them wait while I counted every single one. Back when I was working for the toll authority before everything went digital with EZ Pass, I thought I'd seen it all. Drunk drivers, people trying to pay with fake bills, tourists who had no idea where they were going. But this one guy really tested my patience in a way I'll never forget. It was around 3 in the afternoon on a Tuesday, which meant the traffic was pretty light. Most people were just trying to get through without any drama. The toll was $5. Nothing crazy, just your standard fee for crossing the bridge. This guy rolls up in some beat-up sedan that was probably older than me, windows down, music blasting. He stops at my booth and I can already tell by his smirk that he's planning something. Instead of reaching for his wallet like a normal person, he cups both his hands and lifts them up toward my window. They're completely full of pennies and nickels, like he'd been saving them up for months just for this moment. "Here you go. Enjoy counting," he says, dumping all the coins into my hands while laughing like he just told the funniest joke in the world. The coins were warm and sticky, probably from sitting in his cup holder for who knows how long. Some of them fell on the ground because there were way too many to hold at once. I looked at this guy and realized he was one of those people who thinks making someone else's job harder is somehow entertaining. Like, what did I ever do to him? I'm just trying to make it through my shift without any weirdos, and here he comes acting like a complete child. So I smiled right back at him and said, "No problem, but you're gonna enjoy waiting right there until I'm done counting every single one of these. Otherwise, I'll have to call the state troopers to bring you back for not paying your toll properly." His face completely changed. The laughing stopped immediately, and he started looking around like he was trying to figure out if I was serious. "What? Come on, it's just money." "Yeah, and I need to make sure it's the right amount," I said, already starting to stack the pennies on my counter. Regulations, you know? I could see cars starting to line up behind him, but there were other lanes open, so it wasn't a huge deal. Still, a few drivers were honking, and this guy was getting more and more uncomfortable. He kept checking his phone and looking at the other cars like he wanted to just drive away. The counting process was actually kind of therapeutic. I made neat little stacks of 10 pennies each, taking my sweet time to make sure they were perfectly aligned. When I got distracted by a car in the next lane, I accidentally knocked over one of my stacks. "Oops, looks like I have to start over with these ones. Are you kidding me right now?" he said, but I could tell he didn't want to make too much of a scene because people were starting to stare. "Hey, you're the one who wanted me to enjoy counting," I reminded him. "I'm just being extra careful to make sure everything's accurate." By this point, he was practically pouting like a little kid who didn't get his way. His music was still playing, but he turned it down, probably because he was embarrassed. I kept counting, occasionally losing track on purpose and having to recount certain stacks. After about 15 minutes of this, I finally finished. Turns out he'd given me $5.20, 20 cents more than he needed to pay. I counted out 20 cents in pennies and nickels and handed them back to him with the biggest smile I could manage. "Here's your change. Aren't you glad you waited to make sure everything was correct?" He snatched the coins from my hand without saying anything and drove off way faster than he should have. I heard his tires squeal a little as he merged back onto the highway. I never saw that guy again, but I hope he learned to just pay his tolls like a normal person.